We've been welcomed into the home of Wally Funk.
I'm so glad you're here.
I'm so glad you insisted that we do this podcast in person.
Absolutely.
We're both alums of Oklahoma State University, and that's how
right.
we made a connection. But I just want to start by mentioning a few things about Wally, and then we'll go into some finer detail.
Good.
So this is what I learned in reading your book, Wally. You were a pilot at 17, a flight instructor.
Well, I was probably a lot younger than that, like at 14 or 15.
Flight instructor at 21 for the Army.
Yeah, Fort Sill.
Bought an airplane at 23. One of the Mercury 13 and the youngest candidate. The first woman inspector for the Federal Aviation Administration.
Roger.
And first woman inspector for the National Transportation Safety Board. World traveler at 26.
Yeah.
Fellow alum of Oklahoma State.
I have the same camper here that I was in over there in the garage.
That was awesome. Trip to space in 2021, which we'll go into in finer detail. And author of a book called Higher, Faster, Longer, which is a treasure trove.
Going higher, faster, longer.
Yes, treasure trove of Wally's life. Lunch at the White House during your lifetime.
Several times.
Sharpshooter and aerial acrobatist. And I want to say this, fearless. You've done so many things. Back to how you started flying.
Well, I started flying when I was 4 or 5 years old. I mean, there's some pictures here.
Yes.
But I was 2, Mother had me at the airport, and I went over to that DC-3 and I checked the nuts to see that all the nuts were tight on that wheel, and then the next wheel, and the next wheel. So I was around aviation ever since I was 2 on.
And your mother was an inspiration for
fantastic.
Your flight. So what was her?
She wanted to do things when she was a kid, but her parents were so organized for doing proper things that the things that she wanted to do were not proper. So she let me do all the stuff that was not proper and let me do it. I dressed in Levi's, a t-shirt or an open shirt, and other than having to go to Stevens, and I had to dress correctly there for school, except after school. And I want you to have a picture of her. She is so beautiful. I love her. I talk to her every day, 2 or 3 times a day in that picture.
And she also spoke to one of the instructors at Stevens and pointed you toward the School of Aviation.
Oh, yeah.
And then you went on to our alma mater at Oklahoma State, where you got the instructor's license and went from there to teaching. How many people have you taught to fly?
Thousands of kids. I've got some of the pictures around here, and then I've forgotten their names, unfortunately.
Clap your hands, wiggle your wings. All right, now put your hand back on the wheel.
I was so lucky to be at a place where I could teach, and that was at Oklahoma State. I did everything I could, and all the instructors and all the teachers were all behind me whenever I wanted to do something for Oklahoma State. It was a fabulous school.
And still is.
It is.
And still is.
I haven't been back there for a couple of years.
So, and I was just telling Wally when we got here this morning that I had found her in the latest edition of the Oklahoma State Alumni magazine, where one of your instructors, who was a dance instructor, still remembers you from all that time ago. And she said you preferred flying over dance.
Of course. That was 60 years ago.
So a lot of the podcasts I've done, Wally, have been in an effort to inspire young women and minorities to do things that women haven't typically done.
Right. Well, women have done everything now.
Yes. Well, oh, yes.
But see, that nobody was ever an engineer or a head of a school or an organization like they are today.
Yes.
And I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to be the head instructor all through my life.
So, what do you think made you so accepting every place you've been?
Because I always had a thought of where I'm going. It was always
Yes.
beyond somebody else's thought.
Yes. And so, one of the things I read in the book, and I'd like to share it with our audience,
So on the
is
front cover.
here's the front cover. The only thing a woman needs to compete in a man's world is ability. You
Right
had
to your
it in
heart.
spades. And you also come back to the 5 A's, which is attitude, awareness, anticipation, appearance, and acknowledgement,
And ability.
and a lifelong curiosity.
I had a great education, and my parents were so fantastic to me. They let me do anything I wanted to do, right there in Taos.
But you took it way beyond that.
Well,
Yes, Wally, you are truly an inspiration. So, all of the testing that you did for the Mercury 13, one of my questions about how that all came to be was, what was Dr. Lovelace's interest in testing women back in the 60s?
that is correct. And I stood out because I wanted to do this and this and this and this, and for how long can I do that?
Yes.
None of the other girls said that.
Really?
I was the only one that said, now, longer, higher, faster, longer.
Well, and the one test that stood out to me was in the floating isolation chamber.
Probably. It wasn't floating. It was dead, but it had me floating, like I
Yes.
was floating. Yeah.
And you stayed longer than anybody.
Yeah, I forgot.
10 hours, 35 minutes.
It was
Where
no
the-
problem. You just sat there, and you're supposed to be in space, and I just put my mind into space and seeing all the things you would see in space, and it was fantastic.
And the water temperature, I just found that fascinating. The water temperature was exactly the same temperature as your body temperature,
That's correct.
which was why it made it easier.
Could feel it. Yeah.
I'd never heard of that test. That was fascinating to me.
Well, you know what? I don't even think they do that anymore. It was just back then.
Well, the 13 women of the Mercury 13 passed all of the tests. Many of you scored higher than the men who were tested at the same time.
And I don't think there's many of the girls, only Genora's left. And all the rest of them are gone.
And Wally. And then 2 years ago, Wally, you finally got to go to space. So tell me how that came to be.
With
Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos. So yes, I felt it in space. I had zero gravity. It was wonderful. I could float stuff in the air. Oh, it was absolutely fantastic. And I could see, oh no, I couldn't see the Earth because it was all overcast. It was an overcast day. And I couldn't see the Earth. I wanted to see the roundness of the Earth and see states and countries and stuff.
Couldn't see that.
Not available.
What was there anything surprising about it?
No. I had felt it all.
So,
Whether it was in talking or in a filming or something. Yeah.
so you had been in several opportunities to actually train for being an astronaut. So
Yeah.
you went to Russia,
Affirmative.
and you also went to Huntsville, to NASA, and did some testing there.
I did a lot of testing, a lot of places I can't remember right now.
Okay. So Russia just sounded fascinating to me because you got to meet the
So
woman.
many wonderful girls. Yeah.
Yes.
Valentina Tereshkova.
Okay.
Got her name.
Okay. There she was. Back to the space flight in 2021 because you worked for years to be able to get to do that.
Oh, I had the thought, but working, I was a flight instructor. So I was just teaching. I probably didn't know the people to contact because the people were not doing it yet.
Yes. So what are your thoughts about that whole private space flight going forward?
Well, I thought I could do anything. It's just that they hadn't talked about it yet.
Yes.
It was still maybe in somebody's mind, but I always wanted to go further, faster, longer.
Yes. Yes. And so how did you make the connection with Jeff Bezos
They
and
all
the Blue
contacted
Origin?
me somehow.
They found you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't find them. They found me.
Well, because you had all this
And
experience.
Bezos came right here and stood right there and interviewed me.
We're going to fly you up into space on the very first flight. That's your
And then you got to go.
Yeah, of course. You're not coming here if I can't go. Now, where are you going to take me?
Well, we're at least going to go to lunch.
I want to go to space.
Okay.
Again, everything around here has got space on it, doesn't it?
Yes.
Like that
So-
my trophy over here.
Because you were a chief pilot at several
Oklahoma State.
flight schools and as a flight instructor, what is a chief pilot?
What's a chief pilot?
Yes.
I oversee all the students, what they're taking, and how good are the instructors they're teaching them. Sometimes I'll get my instructor didn't teach me so and so and so and so, or I would find out why, and then get somebody to take that place. I always wanted the best people.
Great. And then you've traveled all over the world as a speaker and as a safety proponent for flying. So tell me about that.
You got 25 hours? Being a safety person is something that's in my body, and I knew how to do it, and I just did it. I can't explain any more than that. I just knew what I wanted to do and did it.
Well, you're also an inventor, and I'm just gonna hand you something and have you tell us about this.
Oh, don't forget the shirt there now.
Okay, we'll get that out.
Okay, this is the Wally stick. The Wally stick is something I made when I was like 19 or 20. It's just a dowel that I've cut many pieces in, and it's all from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And when you get in your airplane, you put this in your gas tank and see how much gas you've got on the rail here. So if you only have 4 or 5 inches, that's not going to be enough. You want it full, which is 7 inches. Then also, you can take this and then, I don't have anything right here. You can bang it on the propeller, and you have a high-pitched tone from the propeller. And if you ever get a low-pitched tone when you're tapping it, there's something wrong inside the propeller.
And
So-
that's touching that to metal.
Affirmative.
Yes. Brilliant. How many did you make?
Oh, hundreds.
You were a world traveler at 26, and that's a fascinating thing to me because
I think I did that at 18 and 19. I was always traveling.
that was, you took a friend and a dog in a camper all over the world.
Yeah.
So what was the inspiration for Wally to go around the world?
You know, people in Taos came from all over. And that's where I was born and raised. So when you talk to them, they'd been here and here and here and here, and I said, I want to go there. So that was inspiration from the people I met in Taos to want to go to their country. And I didn't have to think twice about it. I just did it.
And you bought a camper,
Sure, Volkswagen camper.
flew to,
Sure.
flew to Brussels, had
Affirmative.
already found the camper, and then you and a friend and a dog went
I can't remember the dog's
literally,
name. Do you remember?
literally around the world. I'll bet I could find it.
Well, that's okay.
So, and then later in life, you got to take your mother on some of those same
Took
to
her to
some of
Europe.
those same places.
Took her on an elephant ride in, I can't remember what country it was now. Italy?
India.
India.
Maybe
India. Yeah. Oh, Manu was from India. Came here and I taught her to fly, and then I went back there and taught her in India. Yeah, it was great.
Yes. So you've taught people to fly. All over the world.
All over, yes.
So, favorite thing about teaching flying?
To see how the person will gravitate to what I want them to learn about taking off, landing, doing turns, keeping the altitude, keeping the correct speed. Oh, there's so many things that I love to teach. I've taught all these people that you see pictures of how to do things in an airplane that I was taught from Stevens College on. And I had no trouble with my flying. I picked it up just like that because I had flown little airplanes, model airplanes, when I was 10 years old or so, and made them out of balsa wood and flew them. I knew exactly what to do when I got up in the air.
Because you'd already practiced.
Affirmative.
I love it. What do you think the future of space flight looks like?
Oh, it's going to go on and on and on with more and more people. All the youngsters are getting involved now. Look at them in college and high school. I haven't been to many right in the last year or so, but when I was, all these kids were so excited about doing this and doing that and going into space and traveling. I said, go do it. Make sure you do it. I don't care what your parents say. Do it. And
yes.
Whatever it costs, get the money.
And one of the places that they can begin that journey is at Oklahoma State University, one of the best aviation schools in the country. Still is.
Started at Stevens College and then went to Oklahoma State. It was the best thing I ever did.
My best experience, too. I followed you, and not in aviation, but great school. And now we have a woman president, Casey Schrum,
She's great.
Which is
Hi.
an awesome thing for Oklahoma State. Anything else you'd like to share about your life or your time at Oklahoma State or a Wallyism?
I've had a great life, and I've loved everything I've done. And somebody gave me this capsule, a space capsule, and it was full of cookies when it got sent to me. So this was the space capsule. I wanted to go up in that space capsule and never had the chance. And here's the astronaut that stayed along with it. So this is one of my favorite things. I've got so many other trophies and world things that I hope that you'll take pictures of. But this is one of my favorite pieces that's been sent to me.
Wally, you've had the life.
I've had a great life.
You are such an inspiration, and I'm so glad you invited us to come here in person because this is
a museum.
Simply, it is. And
I mean, look at all those dollars over there. People made $100,000, $10,000, whatever money, and they gave it to me.
Well,
incredible.
And the 2 days before we arrived today, there have been people here from the Smithsonian who have cataloged much of Wally's life.
Everything that you see in here and everything in the other room.
And we'll be able to see it in the future.
I have 5 or 6 flight suits left from when I started flying. So they're in a closet, but this is the latest one.
Wally,
see.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. I hope all of you enjoy, and it was so nice to be with you in your living room.